Capricorn, hey love, it's the Scorpio Stellium here. We're going to take a look at your life, your love, your important matters, your predictions for the week of November 22nd, 2020. And at the end of this, I'm going to do a pick a card for what message you need to hear right now. So, hang out, sit back, and see what we got for you, Cap. All right. All right, so we have the Two of Swords, the Lovers reversed, and the Seven of Pentacles. All right, starting out, this is a stalemate. You know, you trying to make a decision that you cannot figure out what to do about it because there is some type of difficulty in love. There's some type of breakup, discord, challenge, disharmony, unhappiness, separation. All of those words would fit depending upon your situation. But you don't know what to do about it. That's the Two of Swords here. So you're sitting here trying to make the best decision for you, and you don't know what that is. So you're stuck in this mindset. You're stuck in your head, going back and forth, vacillating. Do I let this go? Do I keep fighting for it? Should I stay? Should I go? What do I do? And that's really where your headspace is at. The Seven of Pentacles here tells me this is something that you've invested a lot in. You've invested a lot of your time, your emotions, your energy, your heart. And so it is hard to just walk away from that. You have probably changed a lot about your life and your circumstances for this person. And so you don't want to just let that go. It's still important to you. Let's go ahead and keep looking at what is going on here. So we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. So this is telling me that this has a this financial situation is pertinent to what's going on here. So the Ten of Pentacles can be a very family-oriented card as well. It can be that your finances are wrapped up in this other person because you have a family or you have something established with them. It can also be that their family is part of what is causing this whole issue. It can also be your family as well, but it's a family or money kind of issue with this card. And then the Four of Pentacles is showing that you're holding on to something. I do really feel that something financial is happening in your life that is, it's not a bad thing necessarily, but your decisions that you make are heavily dependent upon them right now. So you may be trying to save more money, but I also feel the other meaning of this Four of Pentacles is coming out to me because it's next to the Five of Swords, is that you're holding on to something, and the something that you're holding on to has to do with fighting or arguments, difficulties. It's this fight that you know you can't win, but you're still holding on to it. It may have even been a fight that happened in the past or a repeated situation that you butted heads with the person that you love, and you know you can't win it, or probably neither one of you are winning, honestly. But I think that you feel that very heavily right now, that you're not going to win this, and you're holding on to it. I think there is some, I don't want to say bitterness, but I think that there is some retained resentment. That's probably a better word. There's some resentment still brewing within you, and it's hard to just dismiss that and move forward with blank slate. And then the last line here before we go back and clarify, being the reverse Sun, the reverse Knight of Pentacles, and the Hermit. So what we've got is your joy, your happiness, what you need to feel okay is not there, because I think that you are having struggles with moving forward. Everything feels slow. It feels like there's no progress. It's all drudgery, and you're finding it very difficult to seek out that joy, those things that used to light you up and used to make you happy. It's hard to find them anymore. I also feel that there may be a wanting to go faster than what things are, how they're going. And it feels like, everything is just slowed to a stop for you. Then we have the Hermit next. I think that this is a period of isolation where you are going to have to go within yourself to really ask those questions. You're going to have a conversation with yourself. One of the things that I mean by that is not just talking to yourself, okay? Because have you ever noticed you can give really good advice to your friends, but you can't do it to yourself? You're like, I wish somebody would like me, could tell me what to do, but I don't know what to do. Have that conversation. Ask yourself, your higher self, your more wise self, what is the best thing to do in this situation? And you might surprise yourself, really. And you can argue with your higher self, that's fine. But you need to listen to it. You need to give it a little bit more weight than what you have been. I think you've been letting the emotions run the show quite a bit. But this is, I don't want to say that you're being forced to isolate by the universe. That sounds really harsh. But I do think that the universe, the energy, whatever you call the higher power, God, I don't know, is all kind of pushing you to this moment of quiet so that you can really examine yourself in this situation and the things that you're dealing with to know how to best move forward. So the Hermit does show that you are going to be walking through a period of time alone. And Capricorn, you're used to that. It's not like it's a new thing. Capricorn usually, like Scorpio, they like to deal with things privately. They're not necessarily those that really reach out for advice or support. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it is how many Capricorn individuals are, unless you have like a Cancer moon or something like that. Okay, so we have the Emperor clarifying the Two of Swords here. So I feel like the indecision, the issue going on with this person, this partner, is somebody who has some type of power position. It may be that they have power over your finances or your job, or some way they have something on you. They have some weight over you, and that power makes it a lot more difficult for you to make a decision, make a clear-minded decision. Let's go ahead and keep shuffling. We're going to go ahead and clarify the Lovers reversed. Okay, we have the Seven of Cups. So this may be a situation that there are there's bad decisions being made. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I feel like on the other person's part, there may be someone else that you're competing against. It may be that there's something really inherently toxic about this relationship. The Seven of Cups is called debauchery in the Thoth deck, and that's one of the few of those cards that I remember the titles for, because how do you forget something like debauchery? But it has to do with, all of those bad decisions that we make. And this is showing that there is, like I said, there's some really bad decisions going on in this relationship. There's something that's really gone sour. If you look at this card closely, I mean, it looks like, everything is putrid and everything is kind of gone to rot. And that's the state of the emotional state of the relationship. All right, let's look at the Seven of Pentacles. Not that it doesn't have a lot of emotion behind it, because it sure does. But I don't think that any of them are good, healthy, freeing emotions right now. Okay, and the Five of Wands. So again, we come back to that kind of competition, feeling like you are competing against something or someone else. Like you're not the first priority with this person, that you put in all of your effort and all of your heart and your energy into it, and you still cannot find yourself in the same position with your person as you put them in. You put them in this very high position, this very lofty space, and they're not doing that for you. Let's go ahead and look more at, I keep flipping cards when I'm shuffling. Let's go ahead and look at the second line, showing me that you're holding on to something that has happened difficult in the past, some type of fight or argument, some type of discord between the two of you. Okay, and we keep coming up, actually that's the card that keeps flipping over. So I guess it really does want to come out. I have the World. This is talking about cycles completing themselves. This is a point where you need to be evaluating what you were supposed to learn here. That's what is needed to make everything come full circle. That's where you're at. You're at the end of this kind of period of time. And in order to not be stuck in it, because when we get stuck in something, it's like where we're not supposed to be anymore, that's when things get really uncomfortable. So to move past that point, it's time to be moving into a state of awareness about what this was supposed to be in your life. What was its karmic purpose? Because it is showing that your things have come back around, and now it's time. It's time to get out of this before you level up. Lessons in life are like circular, and we do this lesson at level 1, and then we do it at level 2, and we do it at level 3, so that we get wiser and wiser, hopefully, each time, and that we are not repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again. A lot of us have really unhealthy patterns in our lives, especially in our relationships, and until we look at why those patterns occur and we really make a concerted effort to not continue those patterns, then we never get out of them. We never level up. We just keep repeating the lesson, and it feels really frustrating. Now we have the reversed strength card. So it seems like somebody's heart is not in this anymore. I think that it may be that you have given up. You may feel like you are not strong enough to continue this. That's really the emotion that's coming through to me right now, is that you feel this lack of strength. You feel like you cannot keep on with the way that things are. And I'm telling you, how to get out of that is back to that world card with what I just said, the cycles and the lessons. Okay, so let's go ahead and look down at this last line about this period of time where you need alone time. This is so funny because I'm getting now the Prince of Pentacles reversed, just like here. That card is showing up again. It's a little bit different though. I think it is again showing that you are going to have to accept the consequences. And I think that you've been avoiding them for a long time, but there are some consequences that that are going to be uncomfortable. And in order to break out of this and to level up and to get into the place that you need to be in, you're going to have to accept some of those. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the way that it works. And then lastly, I do feel that you need to, the Queen of Wands reverse came out. I do feel that that is part of you needing to work on your confidence, your own power, and owning your power. Because right now you've been giving it away to somebody else over and over and over and over and over again. And to the point that you've lost it. It's like, oh, where did I put me? I don't know. Let's find her or him. You know, let's find you. And that is at the core of why the universe is pushing this period of isolation upon you that you do not like, that feels very uncomfortable, is trying to force you to look at your stuff. Okay, I just want to see if anything else wants to come out for this Hermit card. I don't think so. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go to your pick a card for what message you need to hear this week. While I'm shuffling, I would appreciate it if you enjoyed this reading, if you would send me a little encouragement by subscribing or just leaving me a comment. And when you do your pick a card, just pick one, okay? One card that really calls to you. If you need to pause the video, you can do that. Message for Capricorn. We have cards 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, you can pause. So I'm going to jump right into it. The first card is the reversed 2 of Wands. This is showing you that the plans that you made, the ideas, the things that you wanted to do, it's planning. It's looking forward to the future. That future is not going to happen. And unfortunately, you're going to have to accept that. And the faster you accept it, the faster you can pivot to something else that is going to bring you joy. For the second card, I have the Moon. We've got, oh my gosh, so many emotions coming up right now. It could be coming out in your dreams. It can be coming out in your quiet moments. You know, your subconscious is not going to let you keep pushing this stuff down. It's finally time to face it. And it's going to, like I said, it's going to keep coming up until you can be free of it and own your shadow stuff, you know, your shadow self, and really implement that. It's like who's read A Wizard of Earthsea? If you have, you'll have to leave me a comment and let me know. Because if you know what I'm talking about with that book, you'll know what I mean here. But the Moon is about self-deception. And I believe that you have been deceiving yourself for a long time. And it's time to come out of that. It's time to really give it a hard look at what's there, and then deal with it. Deal with it, whatever it is, whatever comes up, you face it, and that's how you move on. But running from it is not going to help you. And then for card number 3, the Magician reversed. This is telling me that somebody that you are dealing with is extremely selfish. Somebody that you're dealing with is probably narcissistic. They are manipulating things to their own good, and you've been playing into their hand. So if this rings a bell for you, it's time to, instead of doing this self-examination like in card 2, you need to be examining them and really looking at what kind of patterns are happening between the two of you. If you are being manipulated, then you need to get out of that situation. You need to do something differently, okay? Thank you for watching, Capricorn. I will see you again next week.